Welcome to the highlights reel of round 2 of our V8 Supercar series. Unfortunately, you won't find a round 1 as I disconnected during the race and wasn't able to put one of these videos together. I'm very excited for this as this is the first one I was able to do. Great evening's racing and some very interesting results. I hope you enjoy it. Having a look at the lineup for the race, in pole position we had Jakes, Dylan was in second, Johan in third, Ash in fourth, the return of Gerard from Spartan Racing in fifth, Roy in sixth, Gamid, Ash's new racing partner and new to the series, in seventh, and Carl in eighth. Lights green and off they go. Jakes makes a clean getaway there as they head into Hell Corner. Ash pushing hard and gets the position in front of Johan. Roy seems to have run a bit wide there as they head down Mountain Straight off to turn number 2, Quarry. Jake's pulling away slightly with Ash really putting some pressure on Dylan. Ash pushing hard, really putting Dylan under pressure as they go into Quarry. Oh, Ash has run slightly wide. Gerard joins him out on that outside line. Pretty dangerous to go out there, so much dirt, not much grip. Hard on the brakes into turn 4. Positions: Jakes, Dylan, Ash, Johan, Gerard. Oh, Ash has hit the wall hard. That's put him wide, he's lost control. That's put him into the wall. What a pity. That he was really looking strong there, adding all that pressure up on Dylan. Coming around turn number 10 as they head into Skyline. Hard on the brakes. Johan in play. Oh, Gerard's got in too hot. He's probably locked those brakes up. Wasn't able to turn. Just going to have to get out the way there. Oh, and there's Gamid. He did the same thing. Exactly the same mistake as Gerard. And he's put himself the wrong way around. So many incidents so early on in this race. It's really going to be a tough 18 laps. Carl 4th, Ash 5th as they run down the Conrod Straight, heading up to turn number 20. Or Ash running a bit wide there, not sure whether he just took his eyes off the road there for that second. Into turn 20 they go. Down the chase, hard on the brakes. Little bit of a lock up there from Ash, but he seems okay. Carl's his head's gone wide and probably just taking his foot off the accelerator. Ash has moved himself back up to 4th place. On board with our leader Jakes as he goes down the Mountain Straight for the second time. Pulling away from Dylan by about 4 seconds. He did have the fastest qualifying time of a 2:05.21. Great effort there by Jakes. Dylan missing out by 0.01 of a second to take that pole position. Lovely line as he went up there through cutting, prepares himself for corners 5 into 6. Going wide here to set himself up for 8. Keeping the throttle down into 9. A little tap off into 10. Getting the nose in. Power back on. Setting himself up to brake hard here into Skyline. Another braking point into 11, into 12. Off the power, back on the power, down into 13, 14. Flat through 15, into 16, slight brake just to turn the nose. 17 into the dipper, hard on the power, keeping those wheels going in the straight direction. Making sure that you're not putting the power on too quickly. Don't want to unstabilize that rear. Hard down the Conrod Straight. We'll go very far left here into 20. Hard on the brakes, just making sure that you're not locking up. You don't want to be burning up the rubber. We found that with this hard compound and on these conditions that the tires were only lasting around about 8 to 9 laps where you can really put those lap times down, and other than that it was pretty difficult. Lockups were generally happening at just about every corner. Having a little look further down the field with Ash in 4th place, he's managed to pull himself a gap away from Carl, and looking good after that massive impact he had there going up the hill on the first lap. We're on the back of Gerard here as he chases down Carl. Probably also now just settled himself down after that spin on lap 1. So many incidences. Oh, and he goes and he unfortunately loses it again. Gerard, I promise you I didn't mean that. As we go through lap number 3, first position we have Jakes. Then we have Dylan, Johan, Ash, Carl, Gerard, Roy in the pits, probably getting some repairs done. And Gamid has just overtaken Roy, taken that 7th place. So Roy is unfortunately back in last position, getting the repairs done of an incident that we probably hadn't seen. But I'm sure he'll be back on the track pretty soon. Carl pushing hard going down Conrad Straight, but just to the right of him, Gerard has managed to catch up, taken the position away from him, and moved himself further up the field. So Ash in 4th, Gerard 5th, and Carl in 6th. Just having a look at the replay here, you can see Gerard has gone a little bit too tight. It's got that front wheel up, it's unstabilized the rear, and it's sent him all the way around. There we have a look at Johan in 3rd position as he chases down Dylan, who's in 2nd place. It's extreme pity that his teammate Jacques unfortunately was disconnected from the lobby as we were trying to get it going. Jacques and Johan had spent many hours perfecting their setup, working out those race strategies, and it seems to be working out for Johan here. He really battled in the beginning stages of practice, was just not on pace, but slowly but surely was cutting down those seconds and has really put himself in a very competitive position. There we have a shot of Dylan currently in 2nd place as he crosses the line to begin his 5th lap out of 18. Oh, a big moment for Dylan. Managed to catch it going into Hull corner. I'm sure that will just ensure that the next time he comes around that he'll be just a little bit more lenient on that throttle as he powers out, because that could have definitely spelt disaster and put him in the wall, and that would have been his race absolutely ruined. We pick up the action again on lap 6 of 18 with Gerard and Carl still battling it out. Carl just squeezing Gerard there, but eventually realizing that Gerard is going faster. Carl's probably carrying a bit of damage and just lets Gerard go through. So back with Carl chasing Gerard as they go up through corner 6 and 7, preparing for 8. Carl's gone a bit wide, clipped that wall, and that could be a number of things. It's having a bit of downforce damage in the front, not realizing and still committing into that corner, or the turbulence from the car ahead has just unstabled your car and just hasn't given you that downforce that was needed. So Jakes crosses the line to begin his 9th lap, and this is the start of those pitting windows. The positions are Jakes in 1st, Dylan in 2nd, Johan in 3rd, Gerard in 4th, Carl in 5th, Ash in 6th, having a bit of a pit stop that I'd say about 2 laps too soon, Rock in 7th, and Gamid in 8th, and we catch him as he does a good couple of donuts coming down onto Conrad Straight. Sorry Gamid, I don't mean to do that at all. On board with Jakes, approaching the end of lap 9 of 18. A critical stage in this race, because this is when the pit stops would come into play. Jakes in 1st, you see Dylan coming around the corner there, 6 seconds behind Jakes as he enters the pits. The question now is, what is the pit strategy for the individual drivers? Do you take fuel? Do you not change tires? Do you put on the softer compound? There's so many different aspects of this moment in the race that could definitely define the outcome. Jakes' tires go off, new fronts go on, The rears go off. Rears go on. And Dylan's done. Car's down. He's now exiting the pits ahead of Jakes. That means he's caught up at least 15 seconds in that pit stop over Jakes. He's caught up to 6 seconds they was behind and has pulled an additional couple of seconds ahead of him, as we see Johan making his pit stop there. Could this be a defining moment in this race? Dylan exits the pits in first place. Ash in front of him has unlapped himself. This is quite an interesting scenario, because with me having seen the replay, I can see what's coming. Is that Dylan is a lot quicker coming up the mountain sector than Ash, and I'm sure you'll feel his frustration, as all you want him to think is, Ash, please just move out the way, knowing that he's got Jakes about 6 seconds behind him. You can see Dylan is being very tentative here, not pushing too hard, not trying to make a mistake, even though he's coming to lap Ash. Going a lot slower through this section. Approaching Skyline. Ash was on the brakes a lot earlier than Dylan would be. Dylan added a lot more brakes there, locked up on that left front, waiting for an opportunity, thinks about doing it, but sees Ash close the door. That was so close. Dylan nearly put it into the rear of Ash. Oh my goodness, how that would have changed the dynamic of this race once again. At the end of the race, Dylan and Ash did talk about, and Dylan did say he was extremely worried, and Ash too was worried because he didn't want to ruin the race, so the guys definitely had a good chuckle about that after the race. Lap 11 of 18, Jakes in second position, seems to have got himself in a very similar situation that Dylan was the lap before, coming up versus Ash, about to be lapped by Jakes, but he's making himself very an incident there where Ash ran wide. That could have been disaster for Jakes, but he made it through unscathed, and he can start his attack back on that first place Dylan. So the points after 12 laps of 18: in first place we have Dylan, second place 6 seconds behind is Jakes, third place is Gerard, fourth place is Johan, fifth place is Carl, sixth place is Ash, seventh position is Roy, and eighth position is Hamid. We see Gerard crossing the line to start his 12th lap, goes into Hull corner, gets the rear unstable, he spins it around, gets himself back on line, and around the corner we see Johan coming, Johan taking that position back from Gerard, moving Gerard down to 4th position, as we catch up with Jakes in second position, about 6 seconds behind Dylan. He's really pushing hard to try and close that gap. Hard on the brakes, gets the rear a bit wide, clips it inside of the corner. That's definitely going to help Dylan pull a couple of seconds away and just extend that lead. We cut forward to lap 16 as we look at the race leader Dylan getting that car airborne as he comes through Skyline. We pick up the action with Ash in 5th place chasing down Gerard, who was about 10 seconds ahead of him. But as we enter Skyline, you see that Gerard is limping. Unfortunately, his wheel put him into a menu, and while he was trying to exit it, it put him into the wall. So Ash pushing extremely hard to try and get this position back from Gerard. Gerard closing all the avenues, coming down before they go into Conrad Straight. Will Ash have the slipstream, be able to get him around Gerard as they're going into the last couple of corners? On board with Ash, as you can see that he's making some progress on Gerard. Oh, he definitely tapped off there, showing a little bit of respect there. Hard on the brakes as Gerard. Ash is having a little look inside, touches that inside curb. Will he get the run down and take him in on this last corner? Gerard going very defensive. Ash moving to the left. Will he go in? No. Maybe what he's actually thinking is that he'll set it up for this first corner, get the drive out. Here's a little look. Will Gerard leave him enough room? No, he doesn't. He definitely shuts the door there, getting a little bit wide there, and Ash making that rear extremely unstable, wasn't able to get the power down and to really threaten him down the straight just before they go into turn number 2. On board with Dylan, the race leader, coming through the last sections on lap 18. He's had a great race, very calm, very collected, got himself into rhythm, had the one moment where he got it a bit sideways, but put it together, and he crosses the line in first place, his first league win of the year. So Jakes will cross the line in second place. Third place will go to Johan. Fourth place we'll pick up in a moment. And the battle is definitely on. Ash and Gerard having a fight as they go up through the mountain section. All pretty clear what Ash's intentions are. He's really trying to put as much pressure on Gerard, hoping to force that mistake. But Gerard is keeping his nerve, keeping the car going in the right direction. Or Ash got a bit of oversteer there as he exited out of turn 9. Into turn 10 they go, braking hard into Skyline. The car's tight, but oh, that must have been extremely close to the penalty there. Ash going down into 13, around 14. Kind of pulling a slight lead away as they approach 16. 17 down the dipper, down the forest elbow. Will Ash have enough power to get closer to Gerard as they approach turn number 20? You should be behind him, Ash, getting that slipstream, getting as much of that downforce reduced. Great move as he goes on the inside as he sets himself up for turn number 20. Through the chase, hard on the brakes into turn 21. Little bit of a lock-up, but Ash gets away scot-free. No, he runs wide. Gerard runs wide, but he sets himself up for the inside line. Extremely close as they now come down towards Murray's. Turn 23. Gerard has a little look inside, but Ash shuts the door on him. Will they touch? No, they don't. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Cannot believe it came down to that. Well done, guys. Great finish there. So the final result there, Dylan in first, Jakes in second, Johan in third, Ash in fourth, Gerard in fifth, and Carl in sixth. Thank you very much, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like it, please give it a like. If you want to see more of these races, please subscribe, and we'll see you guys soon. Thanks, yos.